Hey everyone, this is Jake, aka Lunar Wolf, back with the second video in my new player guide series. In this video, we're going to jump in and discuss the various hero classes and their current role in the meta today. So let's get to it. In Conqueror's Blade, there are currently 11 different hero classes, or weapon types, to play as over the 3 main armor types. Let's begin by categorizing these classes by their respective armor type, starting with light armor. The main base gear for general light armor classes is the rogue armor, a blue tier gear with a set bonus. Its 2-piece bonus increases your piercing and slashing armor penetration and your blunt charge damage by 250, with the 4-piece bonus increasing your crit value. The light armor classes are Longbow, Dual Blades, and Shortbow. Each of these classes are designed around high burst damage with relatively low survivability. These 3 classes also have quite stark differences to their playstyles compared to one another. The Longbow class is designed around being a sniper class in traditional styles of games. It has incredible range with great accuracy and a decent damage output with some good utility at the cost of survivability. This class has been reworked a few times over the seasons to better fit that sniper style of play. You would typically play this class perched up somewhere on a wall, taking out lower armored enemy archer units, and peppering heroes with fairly decent damaging abilities while controlling your units from a distance. The current meta for the ultimate skill here is Explosive Arrow. It's integral in a multitude of situations. If you time it perfectly with the charge on a certain unit class, you can break through enemy lines with ease. The weaknesses around this class come from its lack of survivability. The lack of multiple escape skills combined with the stamina drain from using the bow leave you vulnerable when melee-based heroes move in. With the need for high accuracy on your shots and optimizing your overall usage of your bow between normal attacks and skill-based attacks to manage your stamina properly, this class is quite a bit more difficult to master. But in the right hands, you can see some really devastating results. This class is mainly useful for taking out enemy heroes and low armor units. The Shortbow is more so designed for short to medium range DPS burst damage. The main strengths of this class revolve around pretty decent damage output with some minor dots and debuffs to stun, knock down, and poison your opponent. The escape capabilities for this class allow you to engage in riskier combat situations and apply pressure while being able to disengage and retreat effectively. The DPS output in mid-range is quite good, but various factors need to be applied to upkeep that damage output. Timing dodges to build up attack buffs, while managing your stamina to ensure proper escape make this class relatively difficult to pick up and master, similar to the Longbow, but is perfect for death matches and grouped sieges. Both ultimates have their useful scenarios, allowing for more of a variety within the meta and variances on how you want to play the class. This class particularly shines in pre-made groups where stuns and burst damage can be timed effectively and exploited by your teammates. This class excels at attacking enemy heroes. The Dual Blades class is basically the assassin class of Conqueror's Blade. This class is a glass cannon reliant on stealth abilities to push behind enemy lines, take out enemy heroes, disengage, and retreat. Your main goal while playing this class will be to bypass units and strictly target heroes, preferably the lower health ones. The stealth abilities really allow you to surprise your enemy and escape relatively quickly from worsening scenarios. A major downfall to this class is that, if caught, your chances of survival are quite slim due to your low health and armor. Your main ultimate is marked for death. This locks your target in a series of attacks dealing devastating damage. The overall difficulty curve on this class is fairly minimal, where newer players will be able to have an enjoyable experience and see some decent results, but the difficulty comes from trying to manage your units while also solely focusing on heroes with your abilities. Moving on to the next tier up of armor, we come across the medium armor classes. Medium armor classes hold a much wider variety of playstyles. Your basic blue level armor set is Carnifex, with a 2-piece bonus increasing piercing, slashing, and blunt damage by 150 and the 4-piece bonus increasing your base stats of strength, agility, toughness, and armor all by 10. There are 3 medium armor classes: the Musket, Nodachi, and Spear. Musket is another short to mid-range class with a heightened focus on crowd control, with multiple abilities applying stun, slow, and knockdown to set up your high burst damage skills. You mainly find this class in death matches, as the hero-focused CC allows for great team play. This class can also be quite effective in sieges and other modes, but has a rather high difficulty curve due to the slow reload times and some longer skill cooldowns compared to some of the other classes. Both ultimates are entirely situational and effective, giving you another class with a variety of playstyles. This class can take out heroes and units alike. The Nodachi is a melee class with some very unique abilities. This class is all about risk and reward. While not all that tanky to begin with, the inherent life drain and self-healing from various abilities allows you to survive and hold objectives long after your fellow heroes have died. The longer you stay engaged in battle, the more health you receive. The damage output is not all that high compared to some of the other melee classes, but if you survive longer, you'll technically do more damage overall. The main ability here is Dragon's Leap, due to its great capabilities at tearing through shield walls and sending enemies flying. Just about every skill that Nodachi has some form of CC mitigation or ability to stand you back up from being knocked down, making you nearly invulnerable to any type of enemy crowd control effect. The life drain and lower damage output pushes this class to typically focus on units over heroes in order to maximize the ability effects. The class is typically quite easy to learn, but most players push toward one of the better DPS or more survivable melee classes. However, it is still quite a fun class to play. The final medium armor class is Spear. The Spear is a very good melee class with decent survivability depending on the base stats that you choose to optimize. The main abilities buff you to keep you engaged in battle while dealing decent damage. This class can take on heroes and units alike with a fairly low learning curve. The unique aspect of this class is the utility while on horseback. With a total of 4 different abilities on horseback, your left and right mouse clicks, and 2 skill bar abilities, this class pairs best with cavalry units, making for an extremely fun playstyle. The class is arguably one of the most versatile classes in the game, as it's quite mobile, can output good damage against heroes and units, has a ranged ability that causes some form of minor stun, and can inflict CC effects, while buffing yourself to keep you in the fight longer. I would recommend this class for any new players starting out, as it's just a wildly fun experience, and you're going to see some pretty good, satisfying results. Heavy armor is the final of the 3 categories. The base armor for this class is the Guardsman armor. The 2-piece set bonus increases your max health by 5%, and the 4-piece increases your blunt, piercing, and slashing defense by 120. There are 5 hero classes within this category: Shortsword, Glaive, Poleaxe, Longsword, and Maul. Shortsword is objectively one of the best classes in the game and is the current meta for Territory Wars due to its near invincibility and heavy CC capabilities. For a heavy armor class, it has quite a lot of mobility. While this class is incredibly strong, the damage output is quite low. Your main goals as this class will be to hold or push objectives, annoy enemy heroes, and break defenses. You will be on the front lines with your units, timing your ultimate with unit abilities to further push through enemy lines. The current meta class abilities provide heavy CC or crowd control in the form of slows, knockdowns, and knockbacks, allowing you to heavily pressure the enemy. You have one major defensive ability that makes you nearly invincible for a minimal amount of time and can pull you out of pretty sticky situations or hold that point just a little bit longer. The ult, Thunderstruck, is arguably one of the best in the game, as it can easily break shield walls. While the damage output is considerably lower compared to other classes in the melee space, your survivability and crowd control more than make up for it. This is an absolute must-have class with fully unlocked abilities if you really wish to participate in high-end content like Ranked or Territory Wars. Glaive is another powerhouse heavy armor melee class. However, You might as well be wearing paper, as this class has some of the lowest survivability out of every other heavy armor class, even when stacking full armor as your base stat. The damage output is solid and has a few abilities that apply crowd control, making it suitable for taking out heroes, but this class really excels with unit synergy due to an incredible buff skill which increases your attack power and your allied unit's attack power by 15% for 10 seconds. This can yield some devastating results with a proper push and paired with the high damage ult, Flying Reaper. Glaive also has a high amount of horseback abilities, much like that of the spear. To maximize your damage output, you're going to be playing this class in more of a hybrid style between ground and mounted combat, so stock up on that hay as your horses will be hurting after a while. While this isn't the most difficult class to play, the low survivability requires more situational awareness and a playstyle centered around dealing burst damage and disengaging fairly quickly. I would recommend this class as a good beginner class to play, as your skill will only increase from there. The Poleaxe is the master class of crowd control. Nearly every ability has some form of CC or debuff. The meta abilities and proper rotation will almost permanently lock down an opposing hero until it's been defeated. With mid-range damage output combined with CC, this class can be a nightmare for lower armored heroes. The main ultimate, Rough Justice, will lock down an opponent for so long, a group of heroes or units can easily wipe out the target. The learning curve for this class is fairly low, but is a solid choice overall for those just starting out in the game. If Conqueror's Blade had a tank, the Longsword and Shield class would be it. Virtually no damage output, this class is pure utility. With ally and self-healing alongside high armor and some minor crowd control, this class is designed to hold points and aid your allies. You most likely won't be walking away from sieges with high hero kill counts with this class, but you can focus on unit composition and battlefield awareness to ensure your team's victory. While overshadowed by just about every other class in the game, the solid utility is welcomed in most situations. The difficulty of this class is quite low and can be rewarding for new players, albeit unsatisfying when you don't see high hero kill counts. While it is a viable choice, there are better options for various situations if you are looking to have higher damage output rather than purely hold points and heal allies. Maul is the only paid class in this game. It debuted in Season 3 with challenges to unlock different abilities, but much like the current unit challenges, you could pay for these unlocks with sovereigns. Alongside Shortsword, Maul is one of the best classes in the game. Great survivability and high damage output make this an absolute monster in almost every situation. The synergy of the class skills align to allow for incredible damage bursts with very little effort. Maul has been the subject of a lot of controversy, mainly due to its ultimate, Strike and Grapple. This allows you to pick up an enemy hero and run for a decent distance, followed by throwing them to the ground, leaving them prone for further attacks. You can grab heroes and drop them into your units for easy kills or toss them off walls and ledges. Even with recent nerfs to the ability, it still poses problems for many players. While incredibly fun and satisfying to play, you may receive some hate for playing this class. While some classes are objectively better than others, in the right hands each class can be a powerhouse on the field. If you're just starting out and looking for the most rewarding classes to play early on in your Conqueror's Blade career, I would highly recommend playing one of the following classes: Maul, Shortsword, Spear, Glaive, Poleaxe, or Dual Blades. The remaining classes are a bit more challenging and less rewarding until you've built the skills to master their playstyles. If you like the content and want to see more, please leave a like on the video as it helps me get this video promoted to people who don't follow my channel. I plan on doing more of these videos in this series, so subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos as well. If you have a specific question, feel free to leave me a comment below or hop onto my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/lunarwolf. I stream typically every Wednesday and Thursday at roughly 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every other Sunday. Until then, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.